Here I am in a series again. Students asking me, how do I correct my work? What's wrong with it? Why does it look flat? There's a few reasons. This is a painting that one of my students, Meredith, did, and it looks really good. A lot of times, there's nothing wrong with your painting. It's what materials do you use for your painting. I can tell right now by the paper that she's using, it's very thin, and see how it buckles a lot? I mean, it's very hard to control. So I would always say, use the best paper you can buy. Don't try to create something beautiful with paper that's not very strong, because then as you have problems shading and highlighting your patterns or your paintings, they're not coming out right because there's not so much absorbency in the water. It's just kind of laying flat. So how do you correct that? Well, watercolors is supposed to be water colors. So usually in a watercolor, I would use 75% paint, 25% water. Here I'm going to do the opposite. So all these little petals here look good, but they need a little darkness in here because the values are all the same. See how this flower is the same color, the same color, the same color? So how we're going to achieve that? So I will look at my palette and look for a red that's not too strong, or maybe a little orange. So I'm going to try this color. I don't know. This is like an orangey color, right? And I'm going to take a little bit of red and mix it in to bring that orange down a little bit. People always say, well, how do you know what color to use? Well, I have to guess because I don't know what color she used to start with this painting. So this color, I think, will shade really good. If not, I'll add some of this red here to give it a shade. See how that color against this? So let me show you. So I will pull my paint here from the side. Now see how that's running? That's too watery. So I'm going to tap it on my paper towel. Because remember, this one I said we were going to be a little bit drier. And I will take more paint than water. And I'm going to go right here on my little edges and see if that gives me value. And it does. It gives me a darker value. So because this paper is not absorbent, see how my paint is not going anywhere, it's just laying on top? That's what happens when the paper is not good quality. So now I have to lay my paint down, rinse my brush, and then just move it around. But see, the paint doesn't even move on this paper because there's no absorbency. So remember, it's very hard to get a watercolor to look really watercolory if you don't have the right paper. You have to have the right supplies. So here, since I know this is not going to move, I am going to just give it some color and just highlight them. And so all I'm doing really is basically just giving it a little bit of highlight. There's not much more I can do because I know now that this paper is not absorbent. But we can still manage to come out with a beautiful painting. So I will take a little bit more of that paint. And these are big petals here. So I will come here and separate these guys. And all I'm doing is touching up a little bit. I'm not doing much to it because they look really good. And the last one here, same thing. So there you have it. You cannot, and I can't stress this enough, you cannot make a beautiful work of art with materials that are not that great. We're gonna do this one here, the last one. And why kill yourself? You know, the cost of good paper is not that much more. So if you're gonna really enjoy painting, treat yourself to some good paper. A pad of paper can cost you 15 bucks. And there's 12 sheets in a pad if you're gonna go that route. So that's less than $1 a sheet of paper. I'm sure spend more than that at Starbucks. So there you have it. The background looks great. The little tendrils look phenomenal. It's very delicate looking. I really like it. And since she has some little spots here of paint that I'm sure she didn't want, it's gonna look funky if it's just there. So I am going to take some of leftover paint that I had here on my palette, and I'm just gonna tap it a little bit here and there so that it looks like she was meaning to put those little dots there. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching.